Hey everyone, welcome to Side Hustle Talks. I'm your host Naftali Palma, and I'm here with Jason Mendoza, and I'm gonna be doing some interview with him. I'll ask some questions, and he's gonna share some golden nuggets here for us and for the audience too. So without any further ado, Jason, welcome.
Thank you, Naftali. Appreciate it a lot.
No problem. So Jason, Jason is a real estate agent. So how long have you been in the game?
As far as to actually have my real estate license, I'm about to complete my second year of taxes actually here this tax season. I got my license 2 years ago in August, so I'm about 2 years and a half in now.
Oh, that's awesome. So Jason, tell us about you a little bit. So people, I'm pretty sure that they'll like to know, like, were you doing before doing, real estate, or just tell us about you a little bit.
So basically growing up, I was in sports. I played soccer for the majority of my adolescence. I graduated high school. I stopped playing soccer when I got into high school. My freshman year, I got into bodybuilding. I really got heavy into weightlifting. I put the soccer dreams behind. I'm not going to become professional. Let me just do a little bit of bodybuilding. That way I can actually benefit in places outside of the gym. And, when people look at me in public, you can see, okay, this guy works out. He keeps up with himself.
I can see it. Like
I would hope so. It's been like 10, 12 years, so I'm still skinny for being 12 years in. Yeah. But I got into the bodybuilding world. I graduated, and I really wanted to revolve the majority of my life around bodybuilding. I really like fitness. I'm very passionate about fitness to this day. So I want to do something with like fitness and clothing. So that's kind of what I was really going for. That's what I dedicated the majority of my life after high school towards. At that time, I was also cutting hair, so that was my bread and butter. But all my free time would be dedicated around fitness. Okay. I'd be posting a lot of fitness content on my social media. I eventually did a couple of bodybuilding shows. Oh, nice. And I eventually got to doing a clothing brand here in Reno, Nevada, which I did for like 2 years or so. I got a ton of support the first year. The second year, I was kind of breaking even more than anything, so I just kind of decided to hang it up, and I got into real estate. I left the barbering behind for the most part. I've been transitioning out of that for a while. This is actually my last year of doing it, just because I like keeping up with a lot of my clients, but my sole focus right now is real estate.
Okay, so you are still doing the, selling the merchandise, you said?
As a when?
Like you said that this is gonna be your last year, or did I get that wrong?
Maybe I misworded that. I meant that the barbering is gonna be my last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the clothing has been on the back burner for about 2 years now.
Okay.
I was doing barbering before I got my real estate license, and I've been doing barbering only on the weekends when I first got my license, just to I guess have my 2 years of income history since I already had it with the barbering.
Oh, okay.
In case a real estate opportunity would have come up, I'd be able to get financing and jump on the opportunity. Because if I were to leave the barbering behind and just solely focus on real estate, then I wouldn't be able to qualify for a loan because I don't have my 2 years of taxes done with real estate yet. And I didn't want that window to close on me. So I said,
smart.
I'll work 7 days a week if I have to until I get my 2 years of real estate. That way I have my 2 years of income regardless.
Yeah, because when you start doing because real estate, like when you're like a real estate agent is not like a self-employed type of thing.
Right.
So you have to have those 2 years of experience, right?
So I had to start over completely, and I didn't want to have that happen.
Yeah, and I think that was smart because I think I saw correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said that you got like 2 properties this past year.
Yeah, I got 2 properties this past year, and if it weren't for me keeping that barber income, I wouldn't have been able to make it happen.
Exactly.
So I want to I want to climb as fast as I can, obviously without taking any kind of shortcuts or arriving anywhere prematurely. I still want to learn whatever I have to learn before I arrive and where I have to arrive. But like I said, I just sitting there thinking I don't want to wait 2 years to buy a property. That's a lot of time. 2 years is a lot of time.
Yeah, no, especially like you're in the game. Sometimes I'm pretty sure that you come across with properties that there's value in this property.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So, exactly. That's the worst thing is to see an opportunity and not be ready for the opportunity.
Exactly.
Like my brother once said, it's always best to be ready and not have the opportunity there than the opportunity to be there and you not be ready.
It's true though, because it happened to me last year. There was this property. It was an off-market deal. and it was a cash buy opportunity. But it was, I think it was in Sun Valley. But man, the properties right there, they're going like for 250. You know, like once they're fixed up and a little, you know, good. So, but that one, I think it was like 120.
Wow.
Yeah. So I called up, you know, trying to get my things ready, you know, like investors and stuff, things like that, man. And I think it was gone like within a week.
Yeah, at that price, man. A manufactured house?
Yeah, it was a manufactured, but it had a third of an acre. So
it was real property?
It was a real property.
Those go for like $350, man. So not to make you feel worse, but that's about $200,000 you
yeah, man. I was just like, because I saw the property and I knew the value. Yeah, you're right. They're going for 350. Because I saw some comparables and I think it was 320, between 320 and 350. And I'm like, man, we gotta get this property. So I started calling my brothers like, hey, like, you know, like let's do something up. And then my brothers said like, all right, let's just put an offer, you know, we'll get the money, you know, and everything. So I had everything ready, but I think it was gone.
Yeah, you gotta move quick on those.
Yeah. So no, that's smart what you did. So Jason, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, you know, so that they're gonna be beneficial for me, for the audience, or for maybe people that want to start their own business, you know, or even people that want to start, you know, or thinking to get their license on real estate. So what motivated you to get into real estate, first of all?
Well, I started cutting hair at 14 years old. I got my license after I graduated, so I've been cutting hair for about 12, 13 years of my life now, almost like half of my life. I started at 14 years old, so I like it. It was some good income, but I'm not just about, I guess, making a living. I want to be challenged throughout my life. I find fulfillment in going through challenges and growing in them. And when I was barbering, like in my 12th year, I just kind of thought this doesn't really challenge me physically nor mentally anymore. It kind of comes second nature at this point. I want to take on a challenge. That way I can feel like I'm growing. I feel a little bit more fulfilled. If things are too easy, I just don't feel right. I feel like I'm leaving a lot of potential on the table. So at this time, I was just brainstorming on what I can get into. My brother has been doing real estate for a while at this time, I think 5 years now. And he kind of just dropped the idea every now and then to say get your real estate license. And at this time when I was kind of thinking, you know, I want something more, and him kind of bringing that idea up, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna get my license, because one way or another, I know that I want to get involved in real estate, if I'm doing the business or whether if I'm investing my money in real estate. One way or another, I do know that I'm gonna do real estate regardless, because at the end of the day, I need something to take care of me when that time comes of me not being able to work the way I can work in today's day. One day I'm gonna be old. Who knows how bad my back's gonna hurt? Who knows what kind of condition I'll be in? God willing, hopefully I got, you know, great health, but still I know that we're all gonna get old and we need to rely on something to take care of us then. What I'm trying to say is I can't solely rely on me just working for my income. So eventually, for sure, I want to learn the ropes of investing in real estate. And what better way to learn how to invest in real estate than actually do the business itself? Look at deals all day long, find deals for my clients, investors, and stuff like that. And eventually, when I get good enough at this stuff, apply it to my own life as well. So that's what kind of motivated me to get my license. Both the idea of my brother dropping it out there, and the fact that I knew I was one way or another going to invest in real estate, and I wanted to learn the ropes.
That's awesome. I think like you said, right, we have to think when we're old, right? Sometimes we don't think that, you know, it's gonna be a day that we're probably not gonna be able to work.
Yeah.
So I think that's smart, like you know, having that knowledge and applying it, you know, and what you're doing, you're getting those properties and you're renting it out. That's what you're doing, right? Like you pretty much. Have you ever thinking of flipping houses, or you just want to like, you more want to like get the properties and just hold them for a long term?
Yeah, no, for sure I want to flip some too. I want to flip some. Ideally, I want to just buy and hold. But if numbers don't make sense to buy and hold, then for sure I'll flip it. And also depends on my financial circumstances. If I need money just to have savings for reserves or whatever the case may be, it might make better sense to flip it. But ideally, I want to buy and hold long term. That's my strategy as of right now. But like I said, if it makes better sense to flip something, by all means. Actually, this next one I'm looking for, I think it'd be a better idea for me to flip that one specifically, just because it's hard to cash flow right now for one, And two, I think it'd be a good idea to have some nice reserves, because on the last deal I got a lot of my money tied up in the last house. So I think it'd be a good idea to save up some reserves. So it all depends on my circumstances, but buy and hold is ideally what I want to go for right now.
Is that like your main focus, right?
Yeah, just because, I mean, the way I see it is, would I rather have a big chunk of money up front from flipping the house, or get like $100, $200 right now because the market's not really that good.
Yeah.
But eventually, once again, I think the long term, 30 years from now, I can have that cash flow, $2,000, $3,000 a month, and if I have multiple properties, that could be my source of retirement when that time comes. Right now, I can work hard. 67 years old. I don't know if I'll be able to say that. God willing, hopefully I am able to.
I'm pretty sure, man. You're pretty active. You know, you're doing fitness all the time, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna be really healthy when you're 60, so, even man. 70, man.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
But just in case, let's have that.
Yeah, like it's just that's good. All right.
Yeah.
So that's good. So have you ever thought about like buying like multi-family, like a small complex, or is just mainly like single family?
For sure, I want to look for like, as right now, my multifamily. I know some people still consider it single family, the way banks or lenders might see it. I do want to get into duplexes and triplexes, but as far as multifamily, like in kind of what you're involved in, you know, like 4 units up, 10 units, 20 units, 30 units, that'd be great to learn, but I definitely have to learn that because that's a whole different animal. If I can get together with somebody who knows ropes in that, and I can trust them enough to do something with that eventually, and I'm in a position to be able to invest in that kind of multifamily, by all means, it'd be great. I know the opportunity there is 10x, 20x. So if I, once again, have the resources, I'm in a position to, and I have somebody who can guide me with that, by all means. But right now, I guess
we gotta take it one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. You know, like my main focus, my ideal focus is multifamily. I gotta start somewhere, right? So gotta take it one step at a time. I think what you're doing, it's great, man. Like I always admire you, man. Like I see you work hard, and you know, like I identify myself. You know, I'm like, damn. You know, and then I learn new things. That's what I do this too. You know,
yeah.
Every time I learn something.
No, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
That's awesome, man. Jason, let's just say that I want to buy my first property. What type of advice would you give me, like as a first-time buyer? What would you tell me, like especially in this type of market?
First-time buyer. Well, I can go ahead and speak to my self-employed folks, for example, like because I'm kind of talking from my experience.
Yeah.
If you're self-employed, quit trying to cut corners and not pay taxes and thinking that you're winning or earning money by not paying Uncle Sam his taxes. You have to pay to play. And that's where I really shot myself in the foot. I was thinking that I was coming out on top by filing, you know, I made $13,000, $20,000, and I pay $100-something bucks. Okay, I didn't pay anything, but I really paid when it came down to when an opportunity came up and I went to go get, try to get a loan, and the opportunity passed me right by because I could not get qualified for it, because I was probably qualified for like a $5,000 home, if there's anything like that out there, because I was doing things wrong. So to my self-employed people, file your taxes appropriately, because that is what they're going to qualify you on. But just generally speaking, you know, work on your credit, get it to be 620 and above. 620 is the minimum that they require. Okay. The higher the better, of course. So 620 is shooting low, so might as well shoot high. Go 700, 750. Yeah. Have 2 years of strong income history, so quit jumping from job to job. Work is work. You have to sacrifice sometimes, whether you like to work or not. Do what you got to do, and you know, just to at least get your foot in the door. And save your money. Save your money. Have some assets in order for you to be able to put in that down payment. And I wouldn't be really scared of today's market too much, as long as you're able to make that monthly payment and with I guess sustain that for the next, let's say, 3, 4, 5 years. Worst case scenario, I would dive in, even if it means sacrificing a little bit of my lifestyle. If it means sacrificing a little bit of time with friends, if it means sacrificing some dinners with your girlfriend or whatever the case may be, do it. At the end of the day, I think real estate would have a better return than, you know, a weekend's worth of clubbing every other month, every other week. So
expensive. Clubbing is expensive, man. So.
And I know people love to do it out here. That's why I say it. Reno's, that's all about partying, drinking.
Yeah.
So, but that's just my sole opinion on that.
I think you guys are already heard from him. I think that's what you said. You know, for self-employed, like you said, like you were trying. You think you're on top of the game, you know, trying not to report those taxes. But at the end of the day, it comes down like when you want to do something like this, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't qualify, and I'm like, shoot, I should have done it like this, but, right? So well, you heard from the man here. So that's I think that's a good advice. The other one's working on your credit. The other thing is like how many years of experience do they actually require you? Like if you're gonna qualify or yeah, that's one question. And the other one is, sorry, I'm gonna show you the two of them at the same time.
Okay.
But the other one is like, if I'm the first time buyer, is there any like, I don't know, like type of credit like that you're gonna get because you're a first time buyer? Like I don't know, like creative. I don't know.
Like loan programs and stuff?
Yeah, kind of like that. Like, is there anything that...
Yeah, so if you're getting like an FHA loan for the first time, you're going to be able to get into your property with 3.5% down. You're only allowed to have one FHA loan out at a time. So if you're going to have that FHA loan out and you're going to look to get something else, you have to go conventional.
Oh, so you can't have more than one FHA loan?
No, not all
just one at a time.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So
don't get too smart, huh?
Yeah, right. But I mean, conventional's not that bad either. If you intend to get a place with a conventional loan and you intend to make that your primary residence, you can still get in from anywhere from 3 to 5% down. Usually we see 5% down, so it's just not that, I guess, big of a difference. But and conventional gives you a broader variety of options because FHA has a little bit stricter guidelines when it comes down to which properties you can get into and which ones you can't. And that just once again goes down to your first purchase in general, or your first the property you actually intended to make in your primary residence. So if you get something with an FHA loan today and you look to sell that, you want to get an FHA loan here a year later from selling that property. That same still applies because people think, I've heard a lot of times that people have like a misconception of I only have this one time because this is my first house, so I have this one shot to get in with 3.5 to 5% down. And that's not necessarily the case. I think people get confused with FHA thinking it stands for like first home something. I don't know. I know I thought that before I got my real estate license, and I got that question literally like about 3 times in this past week and a half.
Oh, okay.
But FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration. It's just a loan program.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people get confused with that. So yeah, if you get into a home for the first time, you can get in with anywhere from 3.5 to 5% down. As far as loan programs, you have to really talk to the lender to see where you may be able to qualify for. I know they have like some lower income programs, but that's more of a question you can ask the lender on that.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's a good answer. So I think it's pretty clear. So this other question that I'm gonna ask you is, I would say it's gonna be like for people that are actually in the game of real estate as well, like agents or in any other type of business. So how do you do it to keep your clients coming back, to keep those long-term relationships with existing clients?
Yeah, if I have to be completely transparent, I feel like I need to do a much better job of keeping that long-term relationship with my clients. Not that I don't have a relationship with them, but I'm just so caught up in my world sometimes that I tend to sometimes be neglectful with that. That's just me being completely transparent. So I don't think I'm the guy to ask that question to specifically. As far as how do I continue having clients come back to me or maybe refer me some people, I think I just try to do as best of a job when I am working with them one-on-one. And I just really am constantly always prospecting and looking for new clients as well. So that's kind of how I continue getting clients throughout the years and stay pretty busy throughout these last couple of years. Yeah, but I do definitely got to work on maintaining relationships. I do gotta say that.
That's good that you just said it. Like it's transparent. That I think that's good because like when you recognize something, like you are able to now work on it. Get better at it.
Yeah, I could have sat here and said I can do this, and this, but that's not the reality. And it's not anything personal ever. I tend to do that a lot with my family too. Sometimes I go, like a week, 2 weeks without talking to my family, and not once again something personal. I love my family. I just sometimes get caught up in a certain objective. If I sit down and I say I want to hit this goal, I'll literally almost like get into tunnel vision and block out everything else until I hit this goal. And then once again, it's nothing personal. Yeah, at least I like to think so, right? But it's not anything personal against anybody. I mean, it's not anything personal against my parents. They're just as busy too. And then we'll catch up when we catch up, and it's like nothing ever happened in between, you know?
Yeah.
And I hope that nobody ever takes it like it's something personal. People know, especially in today's day, you're busy as hell. A lot of people working 2 jobs. A lot of people just got a lot of things going on. And I do understand that people got busy lives, and I hope that they can kind of see it from that standpoint in return as well. But I do know and I do recognize that I do got to improve in that area.
That's awesome. Now that you bring that up, you know, like it came to me too. Like I'm kind of the same way too. Like sometimes I get in trouble because, like, same thing. You know, I get like too busy trying to get this done, right, and then, you know, just time flies, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes like birthdays, parties, like I forget some, you know, some birthdays party from my, like, probably my sister or my nephews or things like that. You know, it's not that I want to forget. It's just like, it's just I'm so busy sometimes. I don't even.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So,
we live in a busy world, man. We live in a super busy world.
Yeah, no. So that's I think that's good. I do have to work on that too.
Yeah.
It's not just you.
Both of us, yeah, we'll hold each other
man.
accountable.
So we got something to work on, right? So hey, the other question is like, and I think this is me personally asking you that question. You know, like, how do you do it with you know, when things don't go the way you plan it? Like when things go completely south, like either in a deal or in a business, or like, how do you handle that? Like, how do you come on top?
Well, I mean, it's going to sound pretty cliche, but if something doesn't go in my favor, I can sit there and cry about it and just sit in sorrow, and hopefully something comes rain out the sky, or I can just get up and get after the next one. If I didn't win this one, I can just analyze and see if I could have done something better. If so, then do better on the next one. If it wasn't my fault, or if I feel like I just did the best that I could in that moment, it wasn't my fault, because we have to take complete accountability. But if I feel like I did my complete best in that moment, then okay, if I continue my best, eventually something's going to stick. But it just serves me no purpose sitting there in sorrow and regret, or feeling like giving up. I don't see the benefit behind that. So it's just a matter of, I guess, dusting it off, learning whatever you can learn from it, and applying a little differently on the next one. And if you're really doing your best, it's only a matter of time before something sticks. And I truly have that faith. So that's just the way I see it, really. It's black or white.
Love that answer, man.
No in between.
Simple, clear, you know, just take accountability, you know, like take like responsibility of, you know, the things like you said, like sometimes things don't go right, and you know, it's not gonna be beneficial just to sit there and cry about it, right?
Yeah.
If we would have cried all day and they'll, you know, boom, it will be fixed, I would do it too. But
yeah, right.
It doesn't happen that way, right? So I think, like you say, you know, we gotta learn the lesson, you know, see what we could have done better, what could have done differently, and just move on into the next one.
Exactly. And today's day, we kind of live in a world where I think a lot of people kind of they put self-pity and all this kind of shit on pedestals, and they kind of have like a little pity party. I think we see that a lot. And you know, I understand we all go through things, but I like kind of coming from a mind frame or a standpoint of, okay, look, this is what I went through, and this is what I did about it. I don't like just kind of tossing the problem on other people. Hey, this is what I'm going through. Yeah. Nobody likes to fucking hear that. Everybody has their own problems going on. Everybody has their own life going on. Hey, this is what I went through, and this is what I did about it. And if they can take something from the solution, that's actually providing value for the people around you. But just complaining to people and just telling people the wrong that's going on in your life, nobody likes to be around somebody like that, unless they're in the same boat. Yeah. Like Measure Likes company, and you're probably just going to keep each other down at that point. I'm trying to elevate with my people, so I'm not trying to have pity parties and just cry all day long. That doesn't seem like life. It doesn't
work. Yeah. I love that. I always say it like, well, I have this quote stuck in my mind. It says like, life doesn't have a remote. If you want to change it, you got to get up and change it yourself.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, so I'm agree with you. I'm 100% with you on that. Like, a lot of people just complaining and whining about things, but the reality is, like, if we don't change, nobody else is gonna change it for us. Right. You gotta do it, right? Nobody else is gonna do it for us.
100%, man. I agree.
Yeah, no, like, love that answer. Jason, this other question that I'm gonna ask you is, it's gonna help like maybe people that are trying to find deals, you know, maybe real estate agents as well. So some of the strategies that you use to find properties or even like exclusive property, like off market deals?
Like
Like
I said, I just recently started putting a little bit more time and energy into finding off market properties like this, and investment opportunities, just because I think I'm in a better position to be able to invest in properties. Before, I wasn't really hunting for these just because I didn't really, I guess, find the benefit at the time, which there still is benefit. Just the fact of you learning how to find deals is a huge skill set that is very valuable. But I've been personally going about it as far as trying to like go after pre-foreclosures, trying to go after any kind of property that may have might be in a distressed position, whether if, like I said, pre-foreclosures, any kind of liens on the property, things like that. And I've been kind of just either cold calling those folks up. I actually just went on my first round here door knocking last week. I just like door knocked a couple pre-foreclosure properties. Nobody opened up the door. But hey, we're taking action is what I'm trying to get at. Eventually, if I keep knocking, it's a matter of time before somebody opens up the door. And I might get the door slammed in my face a couple of times, but if I keep knocking, it's a matter of time before somebody actually says, hey, you might have something that can help me. So I'll just keep throwing shit at the wall until something sticks, and whatever sticks, I'll keep doing that. But as of right now, I've been trying to really hunt for those kind of properties.
So you send like a mail letters type of thing, or you just don't?
I've been more of like a cold call kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
I just give them a quick call.
I think it's better because I used to do that like on multifamily too, but like they never really reply to letters.
Yeah, right.
But when you call, like sometimes they'll ask and sometimes they'll te rayan la pinche.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Tell me about it.
Pero pues bueno, le digo yo, at least you know right away, right?
Exactly. You got your answer up front. You're not there waiting like, are they gonna mail me back? Your answer was, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's a quick no. You're never gonna mail them again, never gonna call them again.
Yeah.
With the mail, it's gonna take them about a week and a half to write fuck you back. You know what I'm saying? So I want the fuck you up front so I can move on.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I didn't do that either. So I think I did send like over 100 letters.
Damn.
Like probably close to 200 letters.
And those are costly too.
Yeah, and not even one back.
Yeah.
So I said like, all right, I got to pivot a little bit, right? So I start calling.
Yeah.
And it gets more like you get more answers and you get more fuck yous too. Yeah, but you know what? Like you said, I like to put myself in that situation. I like to put myself in positions where I need to tough it up.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's okay.
Hey, we need that, man. That's life. Life, you're gonna try a lot of things and you get rejected plenty of times. You're gonna fail plenty of times, so you better get used to it. And this is a good way to kind of warm that up. Yeah. Just build that thicker skin, like you said. So it's just part of life in general, I think.
Yeah. Get some piel de cocodrilo.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna go penetrate that.
Yeah, man. So hey, this other question is just. I know right now, you know, with social media, you know, it's, you know, like everything is more like online, you know, type of thing, you know, IA or AI, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong, right or wrong, but, you know, artificial intelligence, you know, it's playing like big roles, like in the actual market. Do you use, or how big is the role that plays in your day-to-day life, like, you know, to find business with social media or artificial intelligence?
AI, I don't really use AI too much. I do have this like a chat GPT. It's similar to that. It basically just helps me come up with like quick professional ways of doing things. If I'm driving, I'll say, hey, come up with this, and I'll kind of just copy and touch up whatever I need to touch up. It just kind of makes it a little bit more professional for me. So that's just out of convenience, really. I can sit and write those things to myself, but it's out of convenience and to save time. Yeah. Right. As far as any other kind of artificial intelligence, I haven't been incorporating anything else. I still need to get familiar with all that. I still gotta look into these kind of things and adapt a little bit more, because that is kind of the way we're headed.
It's taking over, man.
Right. So it'd be silly of me for me to not get familiar with that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So that's all I really use, but
ChatGPT.
Just ChatGPT. And then as far as social media, I use well, you see the content I post. I just kind of try to make a little bit more of like entertaining videos, like, you know, little home tours, but I'll add my own little twist to them that way.
I like the videos you do, man. Like,
thanks you.
It's pretty, like, you do really good, you know, like you edit it pretty good. Like they're really nice.
It's not me. It's my buddy Chava. I've known for a long time. Shout out to Chava if he gets to watch this. He helps me a lot with my content. He's been helping me since like the clothing days, the fitness clothing days, and we've had a cool friendship going on since then. And we kind of, it's funny how every time I'm doing something new, like he's still somehow a part of it. I'll bring him in like, hey, I'll express my idea, like this is kind of what I'm going for, and he always executes it. So shout out to him. But yeah, I just try to make things a little bit more entertaining, and I try not to come off as spammy, just because I see a lot of times, I mean, I follow other realtors too here locally. I mean, not to talk down on anybody, but I feel like a lot of times realtors try to promote themselves, and it comes off kind of spammy, like ads, and like people don't like seeing that shit. Like, where's the value for the audience, whether if it's even entertaining, you know, something that they can take away from it, instead of you kind of constantly always trying to sell them something. So I try to kind of come off in a way of, like I said, with somewhat valuable content. I guess valuable subjective, but to me, I put in a lot of effort behind my content for the audience, not so much for me. So, but I do need to start posting more. So I just been kind of more on the phones and on my computer because it's been working for me. But I have been talking about integrating a lot more content creating, because I can execute both. Why not both? Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I use social media.
Yeah, the good thing is, like, you know, like I don't know, like it depends the type of video you're creating, right? But I know that you create like a lot of like house tours and when you close the property and all that. I've seen a lot of people, like what they do is like they record like a long video, right? They post like a long video. Probably you will see me doing this, even with this interview. So I get the long video and then like get that out, but then at the same time I get like part of the video, like cold nuggets, you know, like, and then just drop those one, like drip content every day to people, and you know, it's like less than 60 seconds or even 60 seconds, so things like that.
Yeah, I need to start doing that, honestly. I don't know why I haven't done it.
So I'm gonna ask you, I always like to kind of finish up, you know, the interview with this type of question, you know. I like to ask, you know, like, what has been like your greatest achievement on your career?
In my career?
Yeah, like let's just say right now in real estate.
Okay. I think my personal greatest achievement, and this is at this time, obviously, that I'm speaking, because, you know, you think you're thinking big now, and then 5-10 years from now, you might look back like, you know, you might be thinking a lot bigger. So in this particular moment, I think my greatest achievement so far was my most recent deal in October that I got, which was a pre-foreclosure. It's crazy because, to me, like the way it kind of happened for me is I hit the gym first thing in the morning, and then I would do my cardio session right after, like at 5:40. I'm in the gym, and I'm hitting my cardio around 7:30, and I'm watching videos on things that I can learn, and I'm here trying to learn how to get an off-market deal, on how to finance an off-market deal, how to renovate an off-market deal, and I'm just watching videos and videos and videos on a day-to-day basis, and I start implementing the things that I'm taking away, and all of a sudden I find myself in a position where I'm meeting up with a pre-foreclosure guy. I'm walking this place, just like they said in the videos. I proposed something, we came to an agreement, and we're working things out. And it's crazy because as I'm doing these things, like I'm completely new, nobody's there holding my hand, I'm just going based off of what I've been watching on YouTube and whatever I've been looking up on the internet. It's kind of crazy because, you know, it's like I'm a newbie at this kind of stuff. So like, I'm not a newbie in real estate, but I'm a newbie as far as like getting into an investment property and getting the thing fixed up. I don't even have any like contractors I'm gonna hit up yet. So I'm like, man, I'm getting in this thing like just cold turkey. Yeah. But somehow I had the courage enough to go for it. I think just the amount of studying, and I gotta learn one way or another. So yeah, I just got the deal. I bought it 20% down. I got it below market value. It was a great value add opportunity. I went in there. I had to toss a lot of stuff out because a lot of stuff was left behind. The way sometimes the videos on YouTube would show, there's some kind of problem you're taking on.
I think I saw actually the video. I think you posted a video of that property, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw that property. Like
it was horrible, man.
Yeah, throwing away.
It was a hoarder house and stacked to the top. And that's the thing too. Whenever you're looking for a property, typically you got to expect it to come with a problem.
Yeah.
There's no reason why somebody who's in a good position would sell you their property below market value. Typically, if you're looking for a deal, it's going to come with a problem some kind of way. And this problem was a hoarder problem. There was druggies living in there, and he was in pre-foreclosure, so that's how I was able to get that deal. And yeah, we got that place renovated. within a month. It's crazy how things just lined up for me. It looks like almost like if I knew what I was doing, but I promise I didn't. And to a certain extent, I promise I didn't, because I'm a first at this. It's the first time, my first time doing this. It's crazy because one of the neighbors there from the property I bought came down and introduced himself, and he said, "Hey, if you ever need any work done, let me know. I can do this." I'm like, "Oh man, I don't want anything to do with this block." I'm paranoid because of the weird activity that was going on at that time with the druggies, and I didn't trust anybody on that block. And I said, "Oh man, I already got it all taken care of. Don't worry about it." He's like, "I can do the popcorn. I can take out the popcorn for you." I'm like, "Okay, how much would you charge me?" Because I had just got a quote from one of my dad's friends for like $4,000 because of asbestos. And he's like, "I don't know, I'll charge you like $1,500. I'm like, "Holy shit." I'm like, "You know that shit, it has probably asbestos, right?" He's like, "I don't give a fuck." That's what he said. I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You can come check out my house just to see what kind of work I do." And I said, "Okay." And I looked at it, did a great job. He did it overnight, man, and I was really impressed. And he's like, "I can also do this, this, and this." And he literally helped me almost renovate the entire house. So
that's
awesome. Shout out to Wes. If he's watching this, shout out to Wes. So, you know, I think somehow God was working with me and just having things align for me. So everything came out all right still. So that, I think, is one of my biggest accomplishments yet, because I would have never seen myself being able to get a deal like that. First of all, being able to put 20% down on the house like that. Second of all, and then just renting it out off the get. And yeah, it was it was a great experience, and I definitely want to do it again.
That's awesome, man.
So
yeah, man. I think like one of the things you said, you know, like you were newly doing that, you know, and you kind of were just kind of based on YouTube videos, what you learn, you know. Hey, but that's what I tell people, you know, like literally today is like there's no excuses.
It's not.
Like literally, if you want to do something, you can literally learn. It sounds cheesy, but you can literally learn from YouTube.
Yeah.
And you know, like that first step, you just gotta take it sometime, kind of blindly, you know, and well, not completely blindly, but you just gotta go for it.
Scared
and it's scared. You're gonna go scared. You're gonna go like, but you just gotta do it because the things you're gonna learn from it, they're worth it, you know.
Yeah.
And well, I'm one of those persons that you can tell me or you can teach me for a long period of time, days, months, how to do one thing. But if I'm just reading how to do it, I'm not gonna learn it.
Right.
But if I'm actually doing it, I'm gonna learn it real quick.
Right. Yeah.
So I learn better when I'm actually doing things.
That's a good point to bring up, because I was going to say that, because learning isn't a doing at the end of the day. You can watch videos all day long, you can feel like you know all this stuff, but you really don't know until you start applying it. That's when you really learn, is when you're actually in the field. You can be watching videos on how to dribble a soccer ball all day long, but you don't really learn how to dribble a soccer ball till you're in the field dribbling the soccer ball.
So yeah, like I said, like I'm one of those persons that I learn better and faster if I'm doing it. And I think like one person says, like you can, like you were saying, you know, you can watch all the videos you want, but let's just put an example. If you want to learn how to swim, you can watch as many videos as you want, but if you don't get in the water and actually try to swim, you're probably not gonna learn.
Right, I agree. I can't say that specifically because I do not know how to swim that well, so I can't really speak on that subject. But yeah, I agree.
But it's just like it's just something that you can kind of relate it to,
right?
Like,
soccer or whatever, real estate,
whatever other thing, you know,
drawing.
Like, yeah, it can be just related to life, you know. Like it just means that if you don't jump into something, have you met someone and said, like, oh, you know, like I have this idea, and oh yeah, like 10 years ago I wanted to do this, 5 years ago I wanted to do this, but they never did it.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid to fail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, like I rather do it and lose, and probably lose even money on it, but do it and not just being like, man, what if? You know, I think that would kill me. Like if I'm just trying to do something and I just don't do it, and I'm regretting later in life, you know, like when I'm old, I'm like, man, what if I would have done this? What if, you know? So I feel like there is a lot like to learn, obviously, like when you are doing something, but if you never actually jumped yourself in and you said like, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, if I fail, I fail, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just gotta learn, right?
Yeah, like Napoleon Hill says, if like there's more to learn from failure than actually
It actually
succeeding.
is, man. Because like I always, and I actually, we talked about this in the last interview, and I was telling this guy, right? Like, I'm like, literally when life is going good, we sometimes forget to, you know, like kind of sit down, analyze, and see what we can improve in our lives. But when things get tough and you're against the wall, that's the time when really growing, because you either swing or you just get sunk, you know, like
Sink or swim.
Yeah, sink or swim. Yeah, that's the right word. So, and that's when we don't really know, you know, what we're capable of doing until we are against the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I remember I'm gonna put this this scenario. So I grew up in El Salvador, right? And in the ranch, and we had cows and we had horses. I remember this cow in particular. She was an angry cow, man.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't jump too high, you know, like, and sometimes we call it cercos.
Yeah.
You know, it's like alambres and like a fence,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like 4 or 5 feet maybe tall,
Okay.
but it has like I don't know how you call it, but the
Barbed wire?
alambre, barbed
Like
wire,
with
yeah.
the little spikes and
Yeah,
stuff?
with
Okay.
spikes.
Yeah.
So, man, this cow was behind me running. I was just running for my life. I jumped that thing like nothing. I'm like, how did I do it? I don't know.
Oh,
You
man,
know, so
no problem.
when you're afraid and when you're just like against the wall, you just you come up with ideas,
Yep.
with new things, you know, and then is when your real growth happens.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. That's crazy. So when you're against the wall, when you have an angry cow behind you, so if you really want to make something happen, buy an angry cow, put him in your room, and watch what kind of shit you'll make happen.
Hey, that's a good way. So no, I think we've learned a lot, you know, on this interview, you know. So I think we're gonna wrap it up, and there's anything else that you wanna share with the audience before we leave?
Anything else I want to share with the audience? I feel like you did a good job, man, of asking a lot of questions. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't really think of much besides, like you said, just take action, learn from failure, move differently. For the next time, like you said, it's when things are going good that you don't really analyze too much, and if anything, it actually does the opposite. When things are going too well, you actually get too comfortable, and that's when you start to have a downfall. If you've seen Scarface, you kind of see how that story ends. He was moving so strategically, coming up. He gets to the top, and it's the death of him.
Yeah.
So, you know, stay humble and stay hungry, ultimately.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think, yeah, you just put it clear. It's right there. It's no more clear than that. So, Jason, if someone wants to contact you, you said they want to sell a house or buy a house, how can they know about you?
Yeah, well, my phone number, my personal cell phone, is what I'm always basically using for my business. And my number is 775-303-0179. My Instagram is Jason Dreams, and that's JASS, 2 S's, ON, and then Dreams with a Z at the end. So, but for business purposes, cell phone is preferred, but Instagram, it doesn't really bother me. I'll give you my number through direct message if I have to.
Okay, so I'll make sure to put that in the description of the video, so if people wanna find it, so they can find your info there. That sounds cool.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect, man.
Well, Jason, I think this is gonna be it. Well, thank you for, you know, taking the time to do this interview. I really appreciate it, and we've learned a lot here.
Yeah, no, thank you, Neff. I appreciate that, man.
All right, man. So thank you, Jason.
Thanks for your time. Yes, sir.
All right, man.
All right, bro.